From the On Your Side investigators, the birth control backlash goes to Washington. K2 first introduced you to Nicola yesterday at 6 o'clock. She relied on a permanent form of birth control called Essure, but ended up with a surprise pregnancy, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. She is now joining thousands of women who claim Essure has ravaged their bodies with medical problems.
Their concerns have even caught the attention of famed consumer activist Erin Brockovich. And On Your Side investigator Chelsea Compton tracked down 3 more women who have become fast friends with one common goal, making sure no other woman goes through this. What do you have now, Chelsea?
Exactly. These women say that they were never made aware of several of Essure's possible side effects and feel they suffered because of it. They're now part of a growing grassroots campaign to spare other women and initiate change. Many are heading to D.C. to demand that doctors and the FDA conduct new safety studies. In a small town in the shadow of Mount Rainier, 3 strangers became friends.
I was like, what? Yeah.
Because of Essure.
The sisterhood's pretty awesome.
Meet Michelle Moore, Shannon McOsker, and Amanda Lair. All done with having kids, they all had the Essure procedure. A doctor inserts a metal coil into each fallopian tube. Scar tissue then builds up around the coils, blocking the egg and sperm from meeting. But shortly after that, these women claim they suffered nightmarish side effects. Side effects they say doctors, the FDA, and Bayer never disclosed.
That's been the most horrific part of this.
Like excruciating pain.
The constant, intense pain that doesn't go away.
So I had migraines, I had joint pain, my entire body hurt.
Weight gain and fatigue.
Very bloated from the belly button down. Extreme exhaustion. It's a struggle. You feel like you're weighted down.
And other unexplained symptoms they believe stem from the nickel and other fibers in the coils.
I'm concerned because people aren't being warned about the nickel. That's a big deal.
8 years after her procedure, Shannon says her pain was too much to bear.
My tubes started feeling hotter at certain times of the month. They would, mid-cycle, they would feel like there's a curling iron in my tube. Radiating heat, yeah.
She had surgery to get the coils out, and during surgery, a startling discovery. The coil punctured one of her fallopian tubes.
So he said, no wonder why, you've been in pain. And I'm like, hands in the air, like, hello, yes, this is exactly, makes sense, totally makes sense to me.
Then another shocker. The Essure implant broke into 2 pieces. To get it all out, doctors tell her she needs a hysterectomy.
It's playing like Russian roulette with my insides. I just don't know what's going to happen.
And it's not just Shannon. They all had surgeries to get the coils out.
I had to have a hysterectomy.
A tubal ligation, because that's
tubes tied?
Yeah, because that's what I ended up with.
They all filed complaints with the FDA, and we found 943 women doctors and healthcare facilities filed adverse events with the FDA since Essure was approved in 2002. And through it all, they say doctors and the drug company dismissed their claims.
That's probably the worst thing that could happen.
The FDA did admit it's reviewed reports of symptoms that were never observed in the post-approval studies, but states, quote, none of the information the FDA reviewed has established a causal connection between Essure and certain reported problems, such as extreme fatigue, depression, and weight gain. These women are not convinced, not one bit.
How many of you have signed the petition?
All of us, yeah.
And they're turning talk into action.
We want the FDA to re-examine this device. We want them to look at it again, seriously look at it.
Once strangers, now friends, turned activists.
Women who are told that there either are no side effects or the side effects are minimal, and then have extreme side effects and have to have hysterectomies at very young ages, they should be able to get some kind of retribution for that.
Women from across the country will rally this Sunday at a gynecology conference. And they're not only calling for new safety studies. Remember that petition the women said they'd signed? It was started by Erin Brockovich and meant to change the law. As it stands right now, women who feel they've been harmed by Essure cannot sue the manufacturer, in this case Bayer. That's because the FDA put Essure in a special class of medical devices. Now, I also wanted to know, what are our local lawmakers doing? I reached out to about a half a dozen of them.
Still waiting on calls back, but we know this story is not going to go anywhere.
Well, I hope they call you back, because it seems to warrant further investigation here.
It does, and these women really want local lawmakers of any kind to press the FDA and Bayer to get the answers they really need about what's going on.
All right, Chelsea, thank you.
If you have a story for Chelsea or any of our On Your Side investigators, email them at investigators@katu.com.